Chris is coming home, innit?
If it ain't coming home, it's very embarrassing. I cried yesterday.
What an emotional day. Of course, it's the daily show, the daily Euro show. Mad for the Euros, Gav Mack and Chris Combat Collins. Dude, where's your mentality this morning? Where's your head at?
Oh God! Well, my voice is gone, so at least I've got my head. I've got one thing left on me. It was just incredible. It's just incredible. Like, we give it the big one all the time in major tournaments, and it's mostly in jest, like he's coming home and all the rest of it, because he just never does, not for 50 odd years anyway. But certainly never in my lifetime have we ever beaten a major team at a tournament where it matters. Yesterday was the first time I can remember us actually doing it. And there just seems to be a mentality switch with the players and the team and the fans and everyone now, especially with the running that we've got, knowing that we've got Ukraine on Saturday, and then it's Denmark or Czech Republic, after that, if we make it past Ukraine. All of those are winnable games. So, it's interesting now. Can we deliver on what is a very promising draw and what is a very promising team and what has been very promising performances, particularly defensive?
Yeah. Okay. Let's go into the game. So, England 2, Germany 0. In case you missed it, where the hell were you if you missed that? Raheem Sterling again getting on the score sheet. That's 3 in 4 for him, and Harry Kane finally getting himself a goal at the Euros this year after lots of scrutiny. But I feel that the tactic out there was to frustrate Germany. That's me being professional, me being honest. Bore the hell out of Germany, and then hit them when it hurt. Bring on Grealish and change the game, because that's what I saw. I was cussing, saying Sterling shouldn't even be on the pitch right now. He's not really offering much in the forward aspect of it. In the first half, everyone could turn around and be like, "Oh yeah, Sterling was the best player on the pitch." Why don't we break it down minute by minute? He had the shot in the first half, which was a pretty decent shot. And most of his work was defensive after that. I don't want Sterling there. Harry Kane, people might stop cussing because he's finally got his goal. He had that opportunity just on the stroke of half time. Complete lack of confidence. Normal Harry Kane probably would have hit that first time. Yeah. Other than that, he was deep. He was not getting forward often enough as he should. I feel like the standout sort of players were Calvin Phillips again. Declan Rice had a good game, and Luke Shaw. Now, what would you say about that?
I think we matched up with them perfectly. I think people need to stop giving so much attention to what the starting lineups are, because we're talking about a tournament where you've got 5, potentially 6 substitutions that you can make. You can change half the team over the course of the game. So it's not just about the starting lineup. And the starting lineup for me yesterday was perfect. We saw what Hungary did against Germany in the group. And if they had better personnel, then they would have seen that over the line. And they potentially might not have even conceded. And we did a very similar sort of job on Germany yesterday. Their wide players, they're not the best at tracking back as good as they are. They have to sacrifice Kimmich, which putting him in the position that he is instead of being in midfield, which for me, you talk about Kante, but Kimmich is the best central defensive midfielder on the planet. There's no one better. So that's a huge loss for them straight away.
Period.
Yes, yeah, he's absolutely superb. He's absolutely superb. When Philipp Lahm retired, it was a big hoo-ha for Germany and Bayern about, God, who's going to step in for him? Bloody hell, Kimmich. No one misses him anymore. Kimmich is just that good. He's just that good, regardless of where he plays. And he's obviously found his tone in the centre of the park. But you're sacrificing that. They've got Asian players. Up front, they've not really got much tooth. Werner and Havertz haven't had the scoring boots on, regardless of whether they won the Champions League or not. And defensively, they're slow. Mats Hummels is still a great player, but he's not the quickest in the world. So I think the game plan, like you said, was perfect. Frustrating for an hour to 75 minutes, as we did yesterday, And then we've got the big guns to come off the bench. I mean, we could have brought on Sancho, Rashford, Mason Mount could have made an appearance. We've got so much talent, regardless of who starts and who comes off the bench, that it's not about who starts the game. It's about how we use our tactical systems, how we match up against the teams that we're going up against, which Southgate has done superbly so far in this tournament, and then what substitutions he makes, and can he make them at the right time, in the right moments, to get us over the line and get us those odd goals here and there, which we have been doing. That's how we've been getting through this tournament.
I mean, I'm split because I want to see good football. I want to be entertained, but I also want to win. And I think what fans as a whole, they want a balance, don't they? They want to be entertained whilst getting victories. And it doesn't seem that, despite the talent pool that England have, it doesn't seem that it is possible to marry the pair. Now, this was Germany we were playing yesterday. Germany are not slouches. Yeah, you can't just go in there all guns blazing 2-3-5 formation and just try and smashing them up and stuff. You have to be a little bit more wary of the threat that Germany can pose, because they can do it. They slapped 4 past Portugal, So now that we are at the business end and we are running a lot deeper into the competition, potentially 2 games away from a major final, which will be the first major final in well over 50 years. So do you then have that approach of pragmatism again, or do you revert to the system that you were playing before? What would you do in this situation?
I think we have to continue to be pragmatic, but I think without disrespecting Ukraine, Denmark, or the Czech Republic, if we get past Ukraine, because obviously it'd be one of those 2 in the semis, without disrespecting them, they don't have the players that the likes of your Germanys do. And I know Germany aren't the powerhouses that they once were, but I mean, we just mentioned a few players there. Toni Kroos is still playing for them, a ball in midfield, and he's still operating at a very high level at Real Madrid. You've got Champions League winners across that team, in Havertz, in Werner, in Rudiger at the back. We just talked about Kimmich before. We just talked about Hummels. They've still got Manuel Neuer. I know he's not best keeper in the world, but he's definitely still top 10, potentially top 5 if you want to make the argument for it. Germany have a good team, but chances were always going to be few and far between. I don't think that's going to be the case against Ukraine. And we'll say Ukraine. We won't focus on matches past that, because it's been very disrespectful to just assume that we would get past them. But chances are going to be, I would imagine, a little bit more common against the Ukraine, because they just don't have the personnel that Germany do. So I think we do need to continue with pragmatism. I think we do need to carry on, putting teams out formations and stuff that are going to frustrate, and then take our chances when we can. But the chances are we probably can and will get 2 or maybe more, because the chances will be there, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I hear that. Now, Ukraine, it could be relatively easy against these boys, and once again, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's just that they're being butchered with injury, and they've just played 120 minutes. They beat Sweden 2-1. Now, I did feel that Ukraine were going to win this game. I was hoping it was more 3-2 than 2-1, but I don't think the Ukrainians will give that much of a hoot as to how they qualified, but they did. Now, Sweden, they took the lead with Emil Forsberg, and what a sublime finish again. I'm actually gutted that Sweden are leaving this competition, because I want to see more Emil Forsberg in a Swedish shirt. Luckily, I'm a massive Bundesliga fan, and you'll be able to find out more about what he does on the Bundesliga show as of next season. So plug-a-roo. Anyway.
Is that a plug, Gav? Is that a plug?
Just a minor one. That was the goal that equalised. That was the equaliser after Zinchenko's deflected shot, which he hit with pretty decent amount of pace, to be fair. Hit the back of the net just before the half-hour mark. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed this game. It was so... there was 2 teams that wanted to win but didn't want to lose. So they didn't want to lose, but wanted to win. I should say it that way, because they weren't panicky and cacking themselves, going, "Oh, I don't know." Like, you have the ball, a hot potato. They were still confident. Both teams were still confident in their own ability to try and make something happen, and I was really impressed by that. The woodwork was hit so many times in the second half. It was unreal. Forsberg with one that hit the one that hit the bar. I would put that down as potentially goal in the tournament over Sheik. I just felt the move, the build up to the whole move, and then the way he took it out of his feet, and then at the dig, I was like, wow. I was very upset for him. Who was it? It was Sidorchuk who hit the post for Ukraine. I can't remember, but yeah, then Forsberg hit the post as well. So we ended up going into extra time, and that's when things started to die down a little bit. And I was more on the scene of, these two teams are going to take it relatively easy. And then the red card situation. Now, I would like to get your opinion and your thoughts on what you on whether you thought that was a red card.
Do you know what? I've had a look at this challenge about 74,000 times, and I'm not even over exaggerating with that. And sometimes I just don't think anyone is right or anyone is wrong. I think can you make a case for him being red carded? Yeah, unfortunately so, because of what the challenge was in the end, in the cold hard light of day. But did he mean to do that, and was it accidental? 100%. There was no intent to hurt him there. There was no malice. There was no, over the top aggression or anything like that. It wasn't even like it was late, or it's just unfortunately one of those challenges where he's done everything right, but the aftermath could have been potentially very, very bad. And I think if the ref gave a yellow, I would have been happy with that. And the ref giving a red.
No, he did give a yellow, didn't he?
He
did give a yellow. He had to go to VAR. The moment he goes over to the camera, the video screen, you know what the outcome is going to be. And
of course you do. Yeah.
I mean, Danielson has had a fantastic tournament, and in a way, awesome. He has. I'm glad that Sweden haven't gone through, because I'd rather them go out than them go through and be missing Danielson, because there'll be no point in playing in the next game. It's simple as that. He's been that key to that back four, but his eyes on the ball the whole time. He wins the ball. He's sliding as he's won the ball. I feel like Bezdin has ran into him more than Danielson has made the challenge on Bezdin, personally. So I even feel relatively aggrieved that a card was given in the first place, but I understand the reasons for a yellow. Now, the referee has looked at the injury and given a red card based on the injury. Because if he got up straight after, or got up like a couple of moments after, there wouldn't be any question or query or argument. It would have been done dead in the water. So that's where I'm at with it. I think it's, yes, I'm aware that he was injured, and that injury, it doesn't look very pretty, but I still think that decision was incredibly harsh. I really do.
I'm 60-40 with you. I agree. If I personally, if I was a referee, I would have given a booking. I would have at most. When I was a kid, and there is a point to the story. When I was a kid, and I was playing for Fletcher Moss, which some people may have heard of before. Fletcher Moss in Manchester, youth team that has produced like the likes of like Wes Brown and Marcus Rashford and players like that. I was not of that ilk, by the way. I'm not comparing myself to those. I was better. But anyway, when I was a kid, one of the managers took a free kick in a training exercise. I was only about 10 or 11. And I stuck my hands across my face, and the ball hit my wrist and broke it. Now, that's not his fault. That's just a horrendous injury. But yesterday, I mean, what's the difference between someone running over as a ref and giving him a red card just because there's an injury? You can't just give cards and send players off just because someone got injured. That's not what we're judging the challenge on, or the offence, or the incident, whatever you want to call it. We're judging it on, right, if we've got to give that player a red card, is it reckless, or is there violent intent there? Is there aggressive intent to try and hurt that player? That's what we're basing the red card on. Yeah, it just wasn't for me. I would
argue that the challenge was reckless, and reckless, in the eyes of the laws of association football, constitutes a yellow card. So
Yeah,
It's
I
what it
agree.
is.
I agree.
It's what it is. Right then. So why don't we have a look at? Have I put the new roadmap in? Yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah,
Wins.
boy.
There we go. There's a roadmap. So the fixtures are. I'll tell you what. I'll do it on the roadmap, but I might as well do it on this instead. So here we go. There's the fixtures. So Friday, quarterfinal one. My dark horses. Switzerland have got Spain at 5 o'clock in St. Petersburg, and then the evening game is Belgium versus Italy in Munich. Saturday in Baku, Czech Republic versus Denmark, Devo's dark horses, and then Ukraine versus Angleterre, of course, which everybody's looking forward to. So yeah, I'll get that roadmap back up now we can see it. Right. Italy, Belgium, Switzerland, Spain. Where's your head at with that, Christoph? Hold on a minute. What a dick move. What a dick move from Gav Matt. We literally spoke about that red card situation. Didn't say about the freaking goal, did I?
No, you didn't. But you know what? The less said about that defending from Sweden, the better.
Can we just talk about how epic the scenario was, though? Zinchenko, goal and an assist on the day. What a delivery. What a delivery. I honestly thought as well that lad was about 17, 18 years old. He's 24.
Yeah.
He looks like
no, he's not.
He's 24 years old.
No way.
Yeah, he plays for Dnipro.
What?
Yeah.
He looks about 13.
Honestly,
that is incredible.
I liked him.
What a moment for him. But can I just say about Zinchenko? Because obviously the goal that he scored was magnificent. And then he gets involved in the winner as well. Hey, Zinchenko, you're a defender. What are you doing?
Is he a defender? Because when they signed him, I think they signed him to play out on the wing. And then they were struggling, so they played him left back. But for Ukraine, he plays centre mid.
Yeah,
it's weird. How bizarre. He
is their best player, though.
Oh, yes.
He's 100% their best player. Just because of he's like a B-Tech Alaba. He can just play anywhere.
Do you know what? I was going to say that. I genuinely was going to say that. That's brilliant.
And that's why we do this. That's why we do this together, Gav. That's why we're on the same team.
Oh, I'll put my left heart up. I'll put my left heart up. But to be fair, I've got the roadmap up on the screen so no one can see our left hearts. Yeah, so let's go back to where we were. Italy, Belgium, Spain versus Switzerland. I personally am going with Italy, Spain. I know that I've got my Swiss as dark horses, but I think that might be a step too far.
After what I saw against France, nothing is impossible for the Switzerland team. But Spain they're horrendous defensively. They're absolutely all over the place. But going forward, you cannot ignore the fact they have now scored 10 goals in their last 2 games.
Yeah. And they'll be looking to get another 5 in this game as well, because, why not? And then the other side of the draw is Ukraine versus England and Czech Republic versus Denmark.
Well, I've spoken about this before, and regardless of my personal feelings for Czech Republic, they're now going to come to the fore, because Czech Republic, you have gone too far in this tournament, and Denmark are going to do the Lord's work, and they are going to send you packing. So I'm backing Denmark all the way, and I would back us as well. So I think it's going to be an us-Denmark semi-final.
Yeah, me too. Now, the games, if it does happen, the semi-finals and the final will both be at Wembley. So it will feel like a home fixture for England. However, I feel that the emotional wave from Denmark could play a giant part in this. Denmark should not be ruled out of anything right now. It might look easy on paper for England, but it doesn't mean anything. It means absolute jack shit. However, it is coming home, though.
It's definitely coming home. It's at least coming home to Wembley for the semi-finals, and from there, we'll see how we go.
Exactly. But that is it Is it? We got over a little bit. I started work 9 minutes ago. It's fine. I'll deal with that. Socials are over there. Over on Chris's side, and all our social media handles, our individual ones are down below there. But thanks everybody for getting involved. And yes, we'll see you tomorrow morning with a team of the last 16 in the morning. So yeah, make sure you tune in for that. It should be a good crack. But for myself, Gav Mac, and my boy Combat Chris, catch you later. See you soon.